Hi, this is Kim from Dorothy's Daughter. Welcome to my channel. If you want to take your sewing to the next level, this is the place to be. We are a community of sewists. I love hanging out with my sewing tribe on the Facebook group, the Dorothy's Daughter community, and I love doing these videos for you as well. So, I am here today for a quick video to introduce you to the Sunday Romper, the new pattern from Love Notions. Now, I have had a history with jumpsuits. I made jumpsuits when I was a teenager. I loved them, and I still to this day love a jumpsuit. Now, I thought I couldn't wear them anymore. Well, you know, the thing is, when you are like me and you have very short legs, jumpsuits can actually make your legs look longer. So while fit might be an issue if you go buy one in the store, if you make your own and you pay very careful attention to the fit, you can look amazing in a jumpsuit. I was privileged to test the Sunday Romper for Love Notions, and I have made 3 of them. I made my tester version, which ended up being one that I love. Not much changed between that and the final version, for me at least, in my size. And so then I made also a short one, and of course my regular full-length one that I was assigned to make. I'm just going to go through the stats of this pattern, and I have a good tip for you as well. In the meantime, I would like to just invite you guys to subscribe if you haven't already. You can click that button down below and make sure you click that bell, because that will tell you whenever there's a new video up or if there's a live session going on. So we had a live session earlier today. It was really fun. They always are fun. I love just hanging out with these ladies. I was saying today that they're from all parts of the world, and I don't think there's anywhere I could go that I wouldn't have a sewing friend I could go visit. So that's just amazing to me. So do join us. We would love to have you. So the details on this pattern, it does go from sizes 0 to 32, which is part of Love Notions' new sort of inclusive sizing. And I've seen it on some of the girls in the larger sizes, and honestly, it looks amazing. There's nobody who can't wear this. The key there is just making it fit. Rompers are just really underrated. I mean, there's just everyone thinks it's going to be just so hard to get in and out of. It's just going to be so hard to make it look good. Every bump and everything will show, and that's not necessarily the case. It certainly is not the case for the ones that I've made of this pattern, and honestly, I was the biggest skeptic for a very long time, but I love jumpsuits. I always have, and they really do add inches to your legs. So if you have short legs like I do, it's a welcome adjustment. So I'm going to talk to you about wearability in just a minute, because I want to talk to you a little bit about fitting the neckline over your hips, and I'm going to go over a tutorial that I have sort of developed for you to reinforce the neckline. Okay, if you are a pear shape like me, you might want to reinforce the neckline. If you have a knit with good recovery, you should be all right. But if you don't, and you're a little bit larger, you might want to use this technique. So I had gone to a wedding. I was shooting the wedding. As you know, I'm a photographer from way back. I was shooting this wedding, and I was wearing a jumpsuit. Well, it looked so nice at the beginning of the day. And this was, of course, a wedding for one of my church friends, so literally all of my church friends were there. It was a wrap style jumpsuit. And as the evening went on, the neckline got lower and lower and lower, and it was really getting to the point of almost being revealing, because the recovery in the fabric just couldn't take that much on and off for, I was there for over 12 hours. So it just could not take the on and off of going to the restroom that many times, of bending, stooping, all that thing. And it was fine once I came home and washed it. It's back to shape. But there is that thing that you need to be a little bit concerned about, whether or not it's going to stretch out while you're wearing it. And it's not that big a concern for most people, but for ladies who have larger hips, you might want to keep listening, because I'm going to give you a tip for that in just a moment. The ease of construction of the pattern is, I'd say, an advanced beginner, very, very easy. Just elastic in the casing, and pockets, inlaid pockets. And other than that, there's not really any huge techniques. There's a knit neckband, the V-neck. The way that she does her V-necks, though, are super easy. So I don't think you'll have an issue with that at all. As far as the fabrics that you can use any knit, but I will say, for a jumpsuit, you might want to consider using a 4-way stretch, just because it will also stretch this way when you're sitting, because, sometimes when we're sitting down, it can ride up and pull. I just suggest to you that maybe using a 4-way stretch would be a good idea. Some cotton lycra would be really nice, double brush poly, which is what this one is, or just some cotton spandex, any kind of really nice knit that gives and also has recovery. And honestly, my favorite thing about this jumpsuit is the neckline. I love this neckline. I'm going to steal this neckline and put it on a t-shirt, because I just love the V in the front, and then, I don't know if you can see, but there's also a deep V in the back, and it's very flattering, and I absolutely love it. So I'm going to be stealing this neckline. You'll see it on something else, because I'm going to hack it onto, I think I'm going to hack it onto a classic tee. I just love it. I love that neckline. So speaking of that neckline, I was talking about the neckline stretching out. So my tip to you is, I don't know how many of you love clear elastic like I do, but I love clear elastic. So what you want to do is you want to take, this is just 1/4 inch clear elastic. A lot of times you get 3/8. That might be kind of big in this case, but this is just 3/8 of an inch, and it's the super thin kind, okay? There's also this kind, which I also got from Amazon, that's super shiny and doesn't have as much give, so you might want to not use this kind, because it's going to give you a little bit more bulk, okay? Now I'm going to go to the sewing machine and show you how to apply this clear elastic to the neckline. And you'll see from the video that you can get so much good recovery. It's just extra recovery for your fabric. So it's just a way to preserve the shape when you're taking it on and off. This is kind of the romper and the pear, like the romper versus the pear. Here I am, the pear-shaped lady, and I have difficulty with rompers because of getting them over my size, my 47-inch hips. This particular romper is it's blended sizes, and I have a 14 on top and an 18 on the bottom. So my 47-inch hips fitting through that size 14 neck, I just wasn't sure that was going to be good. I knew I could make it, I just didn't know how much it would keep its shape after, if you're wearing it on a long day and you're going to the restroom, it's going to stretch out some. But this can help it really have that recovery just that extra little bit of help. Okay, so you just want to take this elastic, and where you want to sew it is on the seam allowance. So you want to sew it on the seam allowance of the neckline, okay? And what you want to do is just zigzag it on. Do not stretch the elastic. Just zigzag it on as is. All right. You might want to start with a little tail going forward so that you don't have issues with it not catching. You want to narrow your zigzag down a little bit from the default on most machines, and just zigzag this right onto that seam allowance in your neckline. Okay, you don't have to stretch it. It's going to give strength, and it's going to be wonderful. All right, now this is not stretched at all. As you can see, I can stretch this neckline out and it goes right back where I put it. So it is just an extra measure of security so that your jumpsuit doesn't look sort of awful by the end of the day. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to go now to the sewing machine and just walk you through how I did that. So I have my neckline all stitched and pressed, but I have not top stitched it. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to flip it over this way. You want the clear elastic to be on the bottom just for comfort, so it's not rubbing against your skin all the time. So I just take right off the roll, leave a good 2 or 3 inches past the V. I'm going to set my machine for a zigzag, only I'm going to go a little bit narrower, like about a 2.5 width. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to just zigzag this onto the seam allowance. Do not stretch it, because that will make your neckline all wavy and weird. All you want to do is just get that started, and then it'll go just really easily. So that's all you want to do, is get that elastic onto the seam allowance. And keep it on the seam allowance and don't stretch it. Don't stretch it at all. Just go all the way around. And with this V-neck, I do 2 pieces. I do, you know, halfway and then start again on the other half, just so you don't have to, you know, turn it with the V or anything. And it doesn't have to be anything spectacular, just so it's on there and it's not going past the seam. You don't want to go over where your seam is, or you'll end up with some puckering or something, and you don't want that. Just keep going, and I'm not stretching it. All you want it to do is give it some strength so that when you pull it up and off, it just gives it a little bit extra recovery. Just give it a little bit of extra recovery, so that when you're pulling it on and off, it'll be just that much stronger. And you have to get a little tedious with this, so that once in a while it wants to slide off. Just have to go slow. Okay, so now I'm at the end there. I'm at the one point of the V there, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut it. So you just want to go all the way to that V, and then you're going to do the same thing going back the other way. It doesn't matter if you start with the front or the back, and remember, keep it on the seam allowance. And I just put the roll on the floor and just pull it as it comes. And I'm not stretching it at all. Just making it flat is all. This is also good to do on knit waistband, gathered waistbands for knits. It's a way to strengthen the seam that's going to be taken on and off a lot. There's some threads here I didn't get. I wish I could be one of those sewers who got every piece of thread during construction. I always have one or two. I've got a snip here and there. Not as neat as I should be, I guess. No stretching. If it starts to go whopper jaw, just lift up your presser foot and put it back right. It doesn't really matter because it's going to grab it anyway, most likely. All right. And then you're done there. You're just going to cut off the ends of the elastic. You have your elastic sewn on your neckband, so you're just going to go ahead then and do the normal top stitching that you would do to put down your neckband. And once you do that, you can see that the elastic is pretty much just enclosed right in the seam, so it's not going to rub on you or anything. You're not even going to know it's there, except that it's got a whole lot of extra recovery. You can stretch that and it comes right back. That's it. It just goes a long way for pulling that over larger hips. It is really great. That's all I have. Well, like I said, the Sunday Romper is an amazing pattern. I made this one, which is a full-length one. I made one that has a woven bottom, which was my first test garment, and I made a short romper. I made absolutely no adjustments to this pattern. None were needed. It fit right out of the gate. It's just a really well done pattern, and it feels like pajamas. So it's secret jammies is what it is, and I just love it. So I'm going to just let you know that the Sunday Romper will be on sale for a bit, I think for the first week, and you can use the link below. It's my affiliate link, and you can go ahead and purchase it from there if you like, or not. You can not use my affiliate link. You don't feel obligated to do that, but if you do, it does help support my channel. And I also wanted to mention that Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles is also doing a video today of the Sunday Romper, and she's doing the dress version. I did not make the dress version, and you really should check out her video because we were texting back and forth today, and she has used some of the most gorgeous fabrics. And you know her, she's so imaginative. She'll take just an everyday pattern and make it into something fabulous. So don't miss her video today as well. All right, have a fantastic day, and I hope that I will see you all in your Sunday rompers very soon. Happy sewing.